When we first started teaching sales training and sales development and how to land accounts, we started teaching, and I probably, you know, I know things have changed, but I probably believed in this philosophy that you could convince and persuade people to do business with you. I probably bought into that, and I think we all at some point during our life believe that the role of the salesperson is to persuade someone to do business. It's to convince them that you're the best solution for them. But as I've gotten older, I don't know if wiser, but definitely older, I don't buy this anymore. Or if I do, I think this is really hard work. Anybody agree with me that taking someone who maybe is not preconceived, has a preconceived notion they shouldn't buy from you or doesn't have any problem or pain or that trying to convince them to buy is hard work. And yet, we do it all the time. There's sales trainers running all over the country teaching people how to persuade and convince a person who's not going to buy to buy. And I prefer to look at this not from a convince and persuade, but from a sort and solve standpoint. And if you would write this down, it's not in your picture anywhere, but let's just say there's thousands of dots here. And I prefer to see the market as a place to sort and solve, not convince and persuade. Sort and solve means there are a handful of people, or a lot of people, it depends on your market, who are ideal prospects for you. There are a lot more people who are not. The problem comes when we spend too much time with those that aren't and not enough time with those that are. So I like to think of this as giving you back the power in the sales process, because guess who has the power when you're out to persuade and convince? Who has the power? Customer. Because they can always say what? No. Price is too high? No, not right now. We've got a contract. You hear all that crap. But when you're sorting and solving, it means that you're only working and spending time with those people who have identified themselves, or you've helped them identify themselves as prospects. And we're going to talk about what a prospect is in a little bit. I like this model because I think it gives you an attitude of strength versus an attitude of weakness. I think if you look at all the people coming through your door, visiting your website, calling you up, inbound calls, even outbound calls that you have meetings with, you look at this as a massive humanity, and you've got to make wise decisions on how to discern between this person and this person. You will become ultimately more successful in sales. Do you know what the average closing rate, I know some of you do, holler it out, average closing rate in American business today, business to business, of 100 deals that we quote, what percent do we close? Average across all industries. And this is American Management Association from 2 years ago. I think it's actually probably come down. What's the percent? Closing percent. Not in your business, but in general business. 10%? A little high. 6 to 7%. So what does that mean? 6 to 7% means I'm not distinguishing very well here between prospects and suspects. I'm just not. And yet I know that in sales we've all been taught to be positive, be enthusiastic, see the silver lining. You know what? He called us. He looked at our website. He called us. He must be a prospect. No, he's not a prospect. He's not a prospect until you identify him as one, and there's a process we'll go through here to teach you how to do that. But if you have a sort and solve mentality versus a convince and persuade mentality, you will always have control of the process. And that's what I need you to have. Why should you have control of the process? I'm talking about sales process. Why should you have control of it? Because you have the what? You have the solution. All they have is what? The money. You can get money anywhere. Money's a commodity. Money falls off trees. But they can't get you everywhere. You are the prize here, not their money. But guess what? When we get out in the sales process and we start getting hungry and we have quotas to meet, they become the prize. Their money becomes the prize. And that's not a good thing for your psyche.